I just wanted to tell you what is happening with BlackRock while you were sleeping. Me too. I was sleeping. We all sleep at night at some point, don't we? But again, I'm going to give a shout out to James, a client I was on the phone with. I follow several people on Twitter, but the Twitterverse, I think it's known to everyone that I think it's kind of a crazy place. There's a fine line between nonsense and BS to me. And so I usually go offline to check what people say on Twitter, which takes time. So, it's easier for me to just go to sites that I know post articles about crypto that I know are vetted. Okay. So, and once again, I'm just going to say this is not financial advice. I simply share what I do and where I go to do some research daily. And God, I hope my computer doesn't die. Let me get this battery hooked up. So I wanted to review this article with you briefly. There we go. Batteries kicked in. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, James said, oh, you should check out Calvin Hill. So check it out. Calvin says, and I'm always researching BlackRock and Vanguard because they've got their hands in the pie on everything in life, okay? So BlackRock is partnering with COINBASE to increase the institutional adoption of Bitcoin. It is not often that you live through the birth and scaling of a new multi-trillion-dollar asset class. Right, the digital asset class. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, I mean, it's the granddaddy, but it's proof of work. And work it does. And it uses a lot of electricity. We won't even go into it because, you know what? I think most people, if you ask them, do they know anything about cryptocurrency? Their first answer, and it always blows me away, is that they go, isn't it like something about Bitcoin? And I just go, oh, wow, there are people out there who have no idea about cryptocurrency, or that this long list of 10,000, your top 20 are probably of most concern. But where was I? But yeah, it blows me away. So that's why the adaptation of Bitcoin probably will happen first. And I think I've mentioned in probably a million other videos. No, that's an exaggeration. I know. I think I only have 70 videos out, maybe a little bit more. But in many of them, I mentioned that I used to live in Singapore and Shenzhen and use the SWIFT banking system. Now, most people who live in America, grow up and live and die in America, never have to use SWIFT. It's in the back office of your banking. Usually you set it up with your bank, and you send money, large amounts of money from one currency to another currency. And so, from Sing dollar into US dollar into another bank account, or, from Chinese yuan, renminbi, Mao bucks, whatever you want to call it, into US dollars into another account from Shenzhen, China. So that takes 3 to 5 to 6 days. And they charge you, they charge for that quite a bit. Now with XRP, once they flip the switch on SWIFT and XRP becomes the bridge currency and everything happens swiftly, it'll happen in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 seconds max. And the burn rate on the XRP is, the fee rate, I should say, is extremely low. So, it's going to work really nice. Again, not a financial advisor, simply sharing what I do, research, and am interested in. Okay. So that's BlackRock. The Clippers beat the Lakers? I don't think so. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. So I just wanted to give you this as an intro. BlackRock introduces India to digital first investment approach. Okay. If they're doing it in parts of, Asia, India, for instance, don't you think it's over in, Dubai and other places there, and Europe and Africa? So a lot of times the United States, believe it or not, just has so many regulations that a lot of companies don't like to do business here. But this is, I love this title down here. I didn't even go down this far. Setting the stage for a digital investment revolution. Yeah, well, there you go. So there's going to be a revolution. It's going to be worldwide. What's this going to look like? Well, I think there's going to be a flip of the switch, and things are going to happen very quickly, so be prepared, okay? You can put your own comments down below this video if you see things differently or if you have questions about it. But look at this. Their local offices in Mumbai, Gurgaon, and Bangalore are global networks for, these things. You have to be paying attention to the rest of the world. And in this next article that I'm going to show you, I'm going to refer you to the person I always go to check out what's happening. So let's get going on this. I just want to make some running commentary as we go down. I'm going to read it. BlackRock, the world's largest investment firm based in New York, has spoken out on global investment in 2023, specifically as noted on Bitcoin Magazine's Twitter account. It said, just in, BlackRock says get ready for a recession unlike any other, and what worked in the past won't work now. Okay, there you have it. Scary. And I did a video, I don't know if it was released just before this one. I have an admin who releases, my video. So I believe I released it probably the day before this one. And you know what? It's scary what's coming up. And I think you need to prep however you need to prep. There's plenty of channels that go into that. I will go into that in further videos. But, try to have everything cash, cash, cash. I know that's hard for some people. You're carrying a mortgage on the house. I think that probably will be fine. Cars, pay cash. Just buy it. And I know if you got payments going on with that, it's difficult. But, do what you can to get cash, cash, cash. And keep some cash on hand. You don't have to keep large amounts, but someday this switch that I referred to that might flip might just shut down the entire damn internet for 1, 3, 5 days. I don't think it'll ever go more than that, but you're going to need some cash when they shut down online banking, when the shiz hits the fan, people. You got to be prepared, okay? Anyway, the BlackRock company manages total assets of $10 trillion, a third of which are in Europe. It is listed on the New York Stock Exchange, offers an investment solution on fixed income, equity, and money market segments, alternative investments, and real estate. It's also a leader in ETFs and ETCs in America, and is present in the Milan Financial Center with its iShares product range, listed on the ETF Plus index on the Italian Stock Exchange. Because of the size and scope of its financial activities, it exerts strong influence worldwide. Yes, BlackRock, and this is the scary part about BlackRock to me. It exerts strong influence worldwide. Strong words, strong influence. BlackRock 3 investment stocks. On BlackRock's official Twitter profile in recent hours, one can read, and this was from December 22, so we're going to skip that. Proceeding in order, we know that BlackRock has drafted a new global investment handbook for 2023. It claims that the regime of greater economic and market volatility is coming to an end, not going away. Indeed, central banks will not rush to the rescue in recessions, contrary to what investors expect. But this regime requires a new investment playbook and implies more frequent portfolio changes and more granular views that go beyond general asset classes. Aha. Okay. So first step, according to BlackRock, is to assess the damage. That means that since central banks are deliberately causing recessions by tightening policy to tame inflation, this points to recession. Thus, there are implications for investments as investors remain underweight in German market equities. My previous video discussed Germany and where they're at. However, BlackRock expects to make more positive judgments regarding this in 2023. Cool. Second, a rethinking of bonds. Okay, that is considering higher yields as a gift to investors long starved for income in bonds. And investors don't have to go up much in the fixed income risk spectrum to receive it. So short-term government bonds, investment-grade credit, and agency mortgage-backed securities for income. Investors continue to underweight long-term government bonds. Finally, according to BlackRock, it is necessary to live with inflation. This is because an aging workforce and geopolitical fragmentation will keep inflation consistently above pre-pandemic levels. Okay, to that, I'm going to refer you to Peter Zeihan. Look him up on YouTube. He's got one pinned video. I think it's 90 minutes long, well worth the investment of your time. And then he's got several videos that are 10 to 30 minutes long whatever interests you. I mean, the one about China I found particularly interesting, maybe because I live there. But you know what? China, we have to watch out, okay? So watch that one. And there are several in there that are very interesting about the demographics and how they're shifting, all kinds of interesting stuff. In fact, I'll pull it up before I end this video, just his channel. Anyway, new regime, economic volatility in contrast to the era of greater moderation. There is a sentence in here that I'm looking for, but I'm going to read it all. According to Blackrock, the great moderation, the 4-decade period of largely stable activity and inflation is behind us. In fact, the new regime of greater economic and market volatility is winding down and will not disappear, according to the firm. Central banks are deliberately causing recessions by over-tightening policies to try to curb inflation. Okay. This foreshadows recession. The prediction is this: central banks will eventually pull back from rate increases when the economic damage becomes apparent. Inflation will cool, but will remain consistently above the central bank's target of 2%. Repeated inflationary surprises have sent bond yields soaring, crushing equities and fixed income. Such volatility is in stark contrast to the era of the Great Moderation. In fact, a key feature of the new regime, according to Blackrock, is that we're in a world shaped by production constraints. This is for several reasons. Point one, the shift in consumer spending from services to goods caused by the pandemic has caused shortage and bottlenecks. Point two, and this is the one, Peter Zeihan, thank you. After watching that video, I saw this and I went, yep, okay. Point two, the aging population has led to a shortage of workers. This means that DMs cannot produce as much as before without creating inflationary pressure. This is why inflation is so high now, even though activity is below its pre-COVID trend. Mouthfuls right there, right? Deliberately causing recessions by over-tightening policies to try to curb inflation. Listen, there's market manipulation and things going on behind the scenes that we cannot control. And I used to spend a lot of time down in rabbit holes during COVID. Well, I was at home, so what the heck? Why not? I'd work myself into a frenzy. Please don't do this to yourself, okay? Because it's not recommended, number one. Number two, there's little that we're going to be able to do about it. This story is going to play out how it's going to play out. Get your freaking popcorn ready, okay? Because it's like a movie that we're going to watch, all right? This is why I'm telling you, just get prepped as best you can for what's about to come, and just relax and get that popcorn out and kick it, okay? Get your favorite person, kick it, and watch some videos about what may be coming your way. This is one of them, okay? According to Blackrock, some output constraints may be loosening as spending normalizes. Specifically, there are 3 long-term trends that keep production capacity constrained and cement the new regime. First, the aging population means a continuing shortage of workers in many major economies. Yes, United States, China, and several others. Next, persistent geopolitical tensions are rewiring globalization and supply chains. I'm just going to throw the word BRICS out there for you, BRICS. Go look up those countries. It's interesting what they're onto, and I don't know why I got sidetracked there, but let's get back to this. Finally, the transition to zero net carbon emissions is causing misalignments between energy supply and demand. So what is clear, according to BlackRock, is that what worked in the past will not work now. Let me repeat that. What worked in the past will not work now. So there you have it. I'm going to let you read the rest of this on your own. I will post a link to this article in the description box. All the links for anything that you're looking for, exchanges, wallets, etc., are in the description box below. Thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it if you would give a thumbs up to this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I would really appreciate that too. Helps with algorithms and boosts my channel, and I really appreciate you all on that note. So until next time, ciao for now.